Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dead Unicorn. My name is Corey. Today we're playing Spelljammer. We're gonna jam those spells right up inside you. That's how Spelljammers work. That's what I was told.
Never
Uh,
say that again.
Definitely not, because there's a thing
Never
you put
again.
on your head
No.
that makes it even worse.
Actually, it's D&D in space, or like fantasy space. It's how D&D
Pirate.
interprets space. We're pirates, yeah. We'll go with that. My name's Corey. I'm here with Brenna, Sarah, Keith, and Howard, and also hopefully all of our patrons that are scrolling right over there, going up and down. Thank you, patrons, for supporting our channel. If you want to support our channel, go to patreon.com/deadunicorn, and we thank them all for their contributions. I think we should introduce our characters, maybe, or Howard, do you just want to jump right into it? What do you want to do?
I'm happy to introduce our characters. Tonight we are short one. Key host is missing. That is the played by Spike. His character is, of course, here. He does have a drinking problem, which exhibits every time he misses a game. And so tonight's the night that his PTSD is taken over. As for the others, I'm going to pick on Brenna. Tinker, tell us about yourself.
What did I do?
You were the one I didn't pick on yet.
You always pick on me.
No, really?
I
I'm
play.
usually drinking.
Hey, I'll drink to that. I am Tinker. I am Tinker. I play Tinker, who is a fairy artificer. Basically, she's the mechanic on the ship and a little bit ADHD.
At the end of your thing, pick on someone. This is your chance.
I'm gonna go with Dell for that.
My name's Keith. I play Del Starwind, who's got far less of a sense of humor than I do, actually. Astral Elven Druid, formerly of the Astral Navy. That's pretty much what you need to know about Del. I'm going to kick this over to Sarah.
Alrighty. I'm Sarah, and I play Eudora Jin, who is a Paragon Eldritch Knight. She is also the magical construct doppelganger of a powerful sorceress who created her to use later on for a spell, but she escaped and is now on the lam because she wants to be her own person. And Corey.
Hi. How you doing? Everybody knows me. My name's Corey, and I'm playing Beetlejuice, the astral elf with a whip. He's the captain of our ship, and our ship is named the Melina, right?
You almost said the Millennium Falcon. didn't you?
Yeah.
I
I was hearing Millennium Falcon. I was waiting for it. The Melina
The
Falcon.
Melina is our
For a
ship.
dead NPC.
One of our
Um,
dead NPCs.
One
That
of them,
happens.
yes.
Right now, we are being spied on by Illithids, and I had an encounter with one, and he stunned us and left. And I thought about that. I thought about him stunning both of us, and later on I was like, technically, if it was by the map, he couldn't do that. He'd have to take a step backwards in order to get both of us in the cone, because it was a cone shape, which means it's one square, which is one of us, and then two squares, and then, or three squares, and then five. I don't know how it goes. Anyways, it's only one
Math is
square if we're
hard.
right next to him, and we were both right next to him. But that's okay, because it was all mind's eye theater.
He could have just plane shifted and left either way. But it
True,
was funnier to stun you first.
it was. Anyways, Howard, we're gonna figure out what the aftermath is. That, English is hard, and we all try our best around here. Howard, you're the game master. You're the dungeon master. Let's go.
In our last episode on Saloon, the forest moon of Toril, known as Lyra to its inhabitants, the crew of the Melina had returned the crystal sword of King Finsindoral Orthrendron, the priestess to the priestess Nerifa Ashgard, allowing her to claim the throne of Lyra as its new queen. In return, in addition to the small 500 gold reward, Nerifa had made the crew known allies to her kingdom and the only non-Lyran citizens. By tradition, they are now legally allowed to purchase a home and decorate it.
If we only
When
had
the
the
crew
money.
returned to the Rock of Brawl, yeah, it's Skyrim reference. I had to put that in there. When the crew returned to the Rock of Brawl to check on the status of Melina too. Oh, you know what? I had a note. I'm going to correct that. That y'all had a new ship purchased. You only replaced your engine. It is just the Melina.
I was gonna say it better not be Melina too.
You get there and it's like this weird little tugboat. And you're like, what is this? All right. Actually, a spelljamming tugboat would be kind of interesting. The idea of pulling other stuff through space. All right. So when the crew returned to the Rocket Brawl, check on the status of the Melina, they found that it was being watched. Splitting up immediately in the face of danger, Tinker snuck inside of the Melina to check out the work that had been done and to see if the new Spelljammer helm worked. Del Starwind went and spoke with Garrulus Ironbanger, the Zet League contact and foreman of the doors rebuilding the ship. Kihos and Beetlejuice went to confront the cloaked figures prowling around the ship. The first figure was laying on a nearby loading dock. They accosted the figure, which was revealed to be some sort of necrotic soul-sucking dwarf zombie. Kihos beheaded it. Beetlejuice chased down the second figure and revealed it to be an Illithid. This Illithid used a psychic power to stun both of our heroes and then faded away to some other plane of existence. Eudora wandered around as a random Herringon for some reason, because everybody does something different when they're not here, and that's what happens. And now we see our heroes gathering back together to report to each other what they encountered after their split up, putting them as they didn't. I believe the place that you chose to meet back up was, what's his name's? Sano's room that you rented for Sano to stay at while y'all were gone. And that's where you were going to meet up again. That's actually in my memory because I forgot to write it down, but I do remember y'all saying that.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
So y'all are all in Sano's room. And for the audience, Sano is a fairly thin guy, although he looks super healthy to our PCs because they saw him as a fleshy skeleton when they met him. And he is pouring shots for all of you.
So we've got everybody back.
Yeah, we're all back.
So what'd you guys find out?
Oh, you don't want to know, mate.
Yeah, we do. That's why you asked.
Some
What
stuff
happened?
is
What
going
happened?
down. Well, we talked to some of the people who were spying on our ship, you know, and it simply appears to be an Illithid and one of the Illithid's henchmen,
People?
hench person. Well, he didn't look very well. He looked maybe he was undead, or maybe he was the Illithids did something to him. It was pretty tragic. It was a dwarf, and he was not looking very well. Not at all. But these Illithids, they're after us for some reason. They instead of talking, they stunned me and then vanished from reality.
You're lucky they didn't kill you.
Tinker goes, she's, smaller, so the shots go a little bit further with her. And so she, after she takes a shot that what's his nut pours for her, she starts going, they're here for our juicy, juicy brains. They want our frontal lobes, man.
I mean,
Kihos takes a drink at that and then just nods in agreement.
They wouldn't get
Right?
much of a peel off of you, Tinker.
I mean, if they wanted our brains, they could just take them, I guess.
Right.
Well, some of us aren't using them.
I think
It's
they want.
worse than that. They use those tentacles and they grab you, and they're gonna try and like chew through your skull,
Right.
and eat your brain.
And this
And Keos takes
Illithid,
another drink.
did nothing of the sort. He instead stunned us and ran away.
How do we know that you're really you, though? Maybe you're under their mind control.
Well, that would be impossible. 'Cause I'm
Why?
me. Obviously.
He does still have that accent.
She goes,
See? You can't you can't fake.
she goes, poke him with iron. See if he reacts to iron. No, wait, that's me. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't.
You can't fake this accent. You can only get it by sailing, or being a chimney sweep. That's the only two ways you can get it.
Tell us something that only Beetlejuice would know.
Mind controlled
only
Beetlejuice wouldn't.
you need to know something only I would know.
To prove you're really you.
He takes a drink and Keos goes, the Illithid, or no, he calls him Mind Flayer. The Mind Flayer he lets loose like a string of obscenities. They're telepathic. It won't work. If you know it, they know it.
Well, what do we have to do? Crack open his head to see if there are tentacles in there?
I mean, that
Not
sounds
the
like
worst idea, but he was with me, so I don't think they switched.
Right.
Now that
Maybe you
she's
were
bringing it
both
up
switched.
and he's drinking, he's now staring at everyone.
Maybe you were both switched. Or maybe you were switched with each other.
Right, it's Freaky Friday, and we would never tell you if we were switched with each other because that's not some. Why would we keep that a secret?
I don't know. Why do you do anything that you do?
I think I'm quite a logical person. In fact, I think that the Illithids are far more interested in our ship than us. And I think as soon as we drop our moorings and get out to the astral sea, that they'll be hot on our tails trying to, I don't know, board us and take us or something like that. So we've got to like outthink these guys. We got to be smarter than the brain suckers. And that's the kind of gem you get from Beetlejuice when he's not being controlled by Illithids. Keith, are you talking or something?
Nope.
Okay.
I haven't said a word.
I'm just waiting for you.
There's so much there.
Yeah, you don't want to interrupt all that. I get you.
There's just so much to unpack there,
She does.
and it's so much
Let's
easier to
just
carry if I leave it in
close
the
it up.
suitcase.
Tie it up, set it on fire, and never speak of it again.
These are solutions.
So
I love solutions. Alcohol's one of my favorite ones.
So, I don't know what we were talking about. I was distracted by a cat.
When she says alcohol is one of my favorite ones, both Keos and Sano drink to that. I like that when it comes, if we were to roll the credits to the game, it would be and the rest, and there would just be my face.
all right.
She
Well,
goes, right. So speaking of the ship, I can totally see why they want it. And she starts info dumping on all the upgrades and whatnot to the ship.
There's also the necrotic great gate we have, and that might be what they're looking for too.
that's probably more than a little bit of it.
Right. I forgot about that.
Hey Keith, do you have a microphone you can bring closer to your face?
Sure.
Thank you.
Let's see here.
I don't know if
Better?
he was distant for the rest of y'all.
Well, the microphone was physically distant from me, so
Okay.
makes sense.
That is better.
In our relationship, Keith, you've always felt distant.
Well, all
Being
you
in
had
two
to do
different
was move a
countries
little
helps
bit
with that.
closer, Howard. Just come a little bit
Yeah.
closer.
I was actually going to go with the Canada thing, but yeah, that.
Yeah, I think we would rather go to Canada than have you move here because then we'd get like healthcare and stuff. So that would be awesome.
That would be nice, yeah.
Yeah, neither one of us.
Hey,
have healthcare.
Keith, you single? I'll marry you.
Right?
Eh,
My wife might have a thing or two to say about that,
Oh,
but
not single then, not single.
Not single.
you know, Canadian
sorry.
Canadian
Well,
health
polyamory was legal here. I totally would. so.
Canadian healthcare has its
Aw,
problems,
I love
but
you too, Brenna.
Canadian healthcare has its problems, but it's better than here.
You can at least get it, no matter how poor you are.
Actually, I
Right?
have a pretty interesting solution to Canadian healthcare problem, but that's for a totally different thing. We're
Oh, we're
in
gonna
D&D.
put that away.
Conversation.
Huh?
That'll be
You
another.
know what you
conversation.
Canucks ought to do?
No, really. I have a really good plan.
Oh, I'm sure you do, Corey. That
I-
doesn't surprise
I have the
Is
best
Canuck
ideas.
really an insult? If so, I apologize. I have no idea.
No, Canuck is a hockey team.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
the Vancouver
just
Canucks.
across the water in Vancouver.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know sports.
it's like calling New Yorkers Yankees. They're like, yeah, that's what we are.
Sure.
slang term for Canadian people too. So that shows what I know.
No, Canuck is absolutely a legit term for Canadians. It's not insulting or anything. It's perfect.
I think it's cute.
It's only when you add the knuckle and head to it, it starts going into insult land.
Knucklehead?
Knucklehead.
The knucklehead.
Knucklehead.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Have you never read an 80s X-Men comic?
I mean,
In
All
the
right.
80s, I did. But to be fair, that
Wolverine
wasn't
used
recently.
terms like that all the time because he was half being written by John Byrne, who's from Northern Alberta.
Steve,
Oh.
that was also over 30 years ago.
Yeah, I read them.
And I think
At
that
the
you're
time.
probably the youngest one here that might not remember it. So, whereas these guys, I mean,
I actually did read X-Men 80s comics.
Wait, aren't both of these ladies 29? Is that not correct?
No,
did say
actually, I
youngest.
just turned 40 years old.
That's what
congratulations.
I said, 29. I will
No, I
never
don't
address any
believe in
woman
that
that's over
because-
29. I'm smarter than that.
I believe that women are just as entitled as men are to aging gracefully.
I don't
plan
know.
on
I think a
becoming
gray
silver
beard
fox.
on you would be disgusting. I'm just going to say it.
Don't worry, that's why I shave mine.
so anyway, though,
Squirrel.
Garrulus, when I was talking to Garrulus, he didn't seem to know anything about these illithids snooping around our boat. He was he said it up security while they finished the job up for us.
He did go get a dude and he could bring him in and he told you about it. I don't know if you remember.
It's been a couple of weeks and I haven't
Okay.
rewatched for the notes.
Oh, that's
So,
fine. Well, then I'll just tell you real quick. Yeah, he went and he ordered one of the workers to come out, and the worker came and explained that, yeah, there was dudes, they were sniffing around, and they figured out they were illithids, and one of them did try and actually mind read and was pushed out and was like, screw you guys, get out of here.
Yeah.
That all happened.
Right.
So, and you would know that. So
I have
there
an
you go.
idea.
Yes. So I passed that along.
I've got an idea.
Did it hurt?
Always. No, it only hurts if I can't get it out.
If you have an obstruction that needs to be unplugged, we understand.
So we got a beholder that owns a bar, and he's like reading everyone's mind that's in the bar, right?
Right.
And we have a problem with the lithids that can read our minds, right? And can
You know,
blast
this guy
us.
Spursel goes, oh, beholders and the lithids or beholders and flares are natural enemies. They're both awful, but they hate each other.
Wait, I thought we liked the bartender.
I don't remember the bartender. He takes another drink.
Large Luigi.
So,
Yeah,
He has
he was
PTSD
cool.
right now. Do you mind?
my idea, my plan is to go talk to this friendly beholder, tell him what what our problems are, and he will come up with the solution. Cause since he's like telepathic, he can tell us how to protect against telepathic stuff. Cause obviously people come into the bar with telepathic blockers and such that can.
So what should we offer him in exchange for his expertise?
Well, if he hates mind flayers, we can say we'll give him dead mind flayers.
Santa goes, or tips. He's a bartender.
We can tip
Yes,
him.
that's more of where I was going with that rather than payment in corpses.
Payment in corpses piles up on you quickly.
I mean, we could haggle.
Or you could always throw in side quests. I find that most NPCs need them, says Sano. Does that make any sense to you? He's also
Yeah, but
very-
would he have a basement with rats on a space station?
Well, the Rock and Roll is
I mean,
actually
it's
a
an asteroid.
meteor, or yeah, an asteroid.
It's an asteroid city, so I mean,
They're asteroids while in space, meteors when they hit the ground.
Yes.
I guess that's literally like lava and magma. It's kind of the same stuff.
More or less.
Because when lava's in space, it's magma. I think that's how it works.
when magma is given space, it becomes lava.
That's actually accurate.
I was like, I don't think there would be a term for it in space because it would not remain lava or magma for very long in space.
It
I
all
said
depends. If it's
given
like near a
space,
star,
not
it could
in
totally
space.
remain.
So
If there's like a pool of like lava or magma, lava
Yes,
orbiting
but
a star.
considering most of space is not immediately near a star.
this is such a like a very pressing and poignant question that needs to be answered. It's the question of the ages, really.
We
And-
need,
42.
we need a
in
quick
answering
app
this
to just
question-
ask Neil deGrasse Tyson stupid questions for Spelljammer.
In answering this question, I'm sure we'll defeat the Illithids.
You don't.
Well, yeah, because we'll confuse them
Exactly.
when they're
We'll-
trying to read our minds.
We'll walk up to the Illithid and be like, "So, Mr. Mind Flayer, we have a question for you. If you're
a
in
mind
a
flayer
room,
of our own, if you will.
if you're in a room that's underground, and you bring up magma into that room, is that magma or lava? Because technically it's still underground. And they won't know what to do. They'll shut down
think
like
it works
Kirk
like that.
asking a robot a logical question.
So basically, you're talking about magma free flowing through the Underdark.
Yeah. Is that lava or magma?
It's Lavga. All right. So, is y'all's plan? I don't want to interrupt the role play. If the role play is done, do y'all want to go to? Is it Luigi? I think his name's Luigi.
Is that
Yeah,
is
let's
that
go with Luigi.
Large Luigi.
Orange Luigi. There it is. It's in my notes. I had to find
large
it.
Luigi?
Tinker goes.
Right.
I think we're out of booze. Come on, Keyhouse. Let's go get some more from Luigi.
Okay. Gios will happily follow.
I like, is anybody else going with the two? Because it could possibly go wrong.
Well, you two team up quite effectively regularly, so
Take all the NPCs. Take Santa with you too. It'll just be Tinker and the NPCs. It's also the name of her new singing group. Tinker and the Nipsies.
Why not?
the troop of bards that Tinker's rounded up.
Just does anybody have any other like ideas?
So I want to know. I want to know more about these Illithids and why the hell they're snooping around. I mean, we can guess that it's probably for our special cargo there, but I wouldn't mind getting a bit something a bit more concrete with that.
Well, if we eliminate them, we won't have to worry about it.
Also true, but I don't think we can get away with eliminating them on the rock. I think we'd have to get them out into open space, and that becomes a lot more problematic.
I mean, what are the laws here against just killing illithids because they're illithids?
I think that it's frowned upon to just randomly kill any sapient here, because they all could be bringing money that the people.
Yeah, and when you put it that way, it sounds pretty racist.
Yeah, just a lot.
I mean, aren't they all evil? Isn't that kind of thing?
You know, I'm going to go less with they're all evil and more with they all eat people's brains. That is their main source of sustenance. And therefore,
I'll give you that.
I'm going to go with they're
this.
after my baby, my ship.
Keith's character, Dell, would know, Dell's character, Keith, would know that on the Rock of Brawl, there are all kinds of horrible criminal aspect type races that come here. And even like the humanoid enslaving Neogi can come here. They're not allowed to commit anything that would be a crime on the Rock of Brawl while on the Rock of Brawl. What they did elsewhere is elsewhere.
So it's like,
So it's kind of like Vegas. Jinx.
Well, it's sort of like the rest of the world. The rest of the world is the Rock of Brawl. What you did outside of the Rock of Brawl stays outside.
It's
of the Rock
Las
of
Vegas,
Brawl.
yeah. Like the
Right.
reverse of that.
but if they attack us, we're free to defend ourselves, like me and Kios did with the one we had earlier, where all we did was ask some questions, and suddenly we were attacked.
But did you defend yourself? I thought he just knocked you both out and could have killed you if he
There
wanted
was a
to.
dwarf that was in a bad shape and controlled by them somehow attacked us.
I mean, we went to him. He takes a drink. Yeah, he did attack us when we were trying to question him.
Yep.
And then the Illithid was running away.
And I ran up to him, and then that's when he attacked me.
Sounds like a pretty good escape plan. You were busy fighting the dwarf and he got away.
Well, he did hit us with his mind thing.
Yeah. Anyways, I think we're in the clear on that. But just be careful.
You know, I'm role playing using a flask when I'm Kihos, when I have a cup right here when I'm me.
Just want to say, we lost.
Self-defense should be a thing anywhere, I would think. You have to be able to defend yourself.
We lost Del. There's Keith.
Oh, he's back. Are we all in the wrong places now? I don't have the actual.
Oh, don't worry
Yeah,
about
no, it all went sideways there for a bit, and you guys' voices were all over the place, and I couldn't make out what was being said. And then all of a sudden, it just disappeared.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's Corey's fault.
Probably.
No, I blame my my own setup.
But what you don't know is that secretly he named his setup Corey.
Anyway, so let's see here. We were talking about the
Finding out more
fight with
information.
the fight with the flare.
Yeah.
Right.
And we have decided that me and Kios are in the clear when it comes to self-defense, but just be careful out there that you don't, instigate the thing. And right. And you want to get more information.
Right.
That's a tricky thing to do. Do you have any ideas on how you want to do it? Because, walking up and questioning them seems to make them want to tear your eyes out.
Imagine why.
Yeah, I don't have any real guesses as to what methods would be best.
I think, yeah, that's why I think asking Luigi about some sort of protection things might be the best way to go. That'll open us up some more options.
Right.
Or maybe we'll find other people who don't like mind flayers and we can set up like a trap for them. Right? Like, think about this. If we head out towards the astral sea, right? And then they come chasing us down like, now we can come get them because they're no longer on the Rock and Brawl. And they come and do it. And then our friends come in that also hate mind flayers and they come in from behind and just like pound them. And then we got them. And we got them, right?
I think Sarah's expression says it all.
Hey, I'm just coming up with ideas, all right? I'm just spitballing here. I'm trying my best, but I think Large Luigi is the way to go right now. But, just keep it in mind. Don't take anything off the table.
Except for my drink.
And when you say that, Kios and Sano both salute and drink.
And so does Tinker.
I have a feeling we will have a lot of passed out PCs shortly.
I'm happy to knock out the NPCs. Doesn't make a difference to me.
I'm good with heading over to Luigi's. If nothing else, it'll help defuse potential threats while we continue to sort some of our stuff out here.
Sure, why not?
All right. So with that, the group will make their way towards the Happy Beholder, which is the name of the bar, which is the inn run by Large Luigi. Unless I've missed something, I don't want to run over anybody else's I wanted to say blah. Going once, going twice. Scene change.
Excellent.
All right. As you are walking into the place, at this point, it was late at night when y'all got together, but not so late that a bar wouldn't be open. It would totally be open. So you're probably getting there around 10 or 11 at night. Not that night matters on an asteroid. And the place is pretty hopping still. There's a lot of people around, various races, kind of a cantina feel from Star Wars. And of course, Large Luigi is looking about the room. Does anybody have anything special they need to tell me about their character when they walk in? Did y'all change outfits or anything that you're like, I have such and such weaponry on me, anything like that?
No, I'm my usual battered old uniform, scarf around my neck. Still got my scimitar at my hip. Yeah, the usual.
Tinker's probably flying a little wobbly.
You can sit on my shoulder if that's easier.
All right. Just checking. All right. You all walk in, and of course, behind the bar, you do see a large floating beholder who's looking around, looking at everybody. If you have any magical effects up, they immediately fade away as you walk into the building.
You see, that's
for some reason.
That's what I'm talking about around here. Say we're in the right place.
Exactly.
There are some places available at the bar, but only like a few. Like a couple of you might have to stand behind the other two. I'm gonna say only the four of you went, unless you dragged an NPC with you, or
Well-
Kios, who's an NPC tonight.
I mean, we've got Kihos obviously with us.
Okay, five.
And probably Sano.
Okay, all six of you.
So
All right, a couple of you, if you want to stay at the bar, a couple of you have to stand behind each other, because there's just not 5 open seats together at the bar on a busy night.
So if there's anything I learned from watching television in the 80s and 90s, it's that bartenders are obligated to listen to your problems.
Yeah, no, that's not how it works.
That's
You sure
exactly.
that seems 100% accurate to me.
Dude, he's the game master, so he's the dungeon master.
I mean, anyone who works for tips is probably going to listen to you to some extent if they think that it will make them a better tip, but only to a point.
So yeah,
Uh,
somebody who sits down at the bar, y'all got to chat up Luigi.
okay, who does that?
Tinker probably does,
I
being
want
the
a table.
exuberant one.
Tinker.
Hey, Luigi! She lands on the bar a little unsteadily.
Oh boy.
Lands on the bar. Right.
Get your dirty feet off my bar.
You hear this bellowing like voice in your head. It starts with laughter. There's a mirth there. It doesn't sound like it's truly upset, but it's sort of a you have to stay on the seats. The brawl people have these rules about people on bars. And
Okay.
you get, and as those ideas are processed in your head, because with telepathy comes images.
Mhm.
The by seats he means bar stools or any available chair, booth, table, whatever you'd like. Just essentially, beyond any shadow of a doubt that one, this is coming from Luigi himself, and two, you're really not supposed to walk on the bar. That's where food is served.
Right.
Violation.
So
Ah, Brawl has so much red tape.
right. So she basically finds she's probably sitting on somebody where she can still be seen and heard, because even though he's telepathic, she's still thinking she has to talk at him because that's natural. She basically starts probably asking him and discussing the sterilization properties of various types of alcohols.
All right. If that's what you want to do.
Well, because that was immediately where my brain went. Well, if you're serving alcohol and alcohol gets spilled on a surface where feet have been, how sterilized would the surface be after spilling alcohol on it? Well, it would depend on the type of alcohol. If there's
It would
a lot
depend
of
on the
sugar in it,
proof of the alcohol. And he
Exactly.
has to explain to
It
you.
needs to be at least 190. I mean,
exactly. That's kind of where she's going.
So,
with it. She's
okay.
opening by talking shop.
Sarah's a lush. What has happened?
She's basically opening it by talking shop, because in her brain,
Okay.
alchemy.
Basically, he sends you an image of the D&D equivalent of Everclear, whatever that is,
Moonshine,
which has more
exactly.
alcohol in it than a bottle of isopropyl alcohol.
Exactly.
they were selling out of Everclear and Diesel 190 during the pandemic because people were buying it to sterilize stuff.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's smart. I
When you
didn't even
couldn't
think
get
of that one.
when you couldn't get cleaning supplies, you could still get 190.
Yep. So she's
Few companies
basically
that just switched over to making hand sanitizer as well.
Yeah.
when moonshiners go from moonshining to making hand sanitizer. Anyways,
It's tragic years we've all lived through.
so Tinker probably
That's my
devolves-
PTSD.
Tinker probably devolves at that point into
Melodramatic much.
into how you would set up testing the sterilization properties of different types of alcohol under different environments. So that's where she's gotten to, and she's probably taken a napkin and that's as big as she is and is, sketching out notes on it.
Well, this is where we learn something interesting about beholders that probably most people never really thought much about. They are these huge, giant, round balls that if you look at their skeleton, it's mostly skull, which means their brains are huge, which means they multitask insanely well. He continues to hold this very long conversation with you about the cleaning the properties of alcohol while doing all the rest of his jobs, including holding probably a whole lot of mental conversations with a lot of other patrons at his bar.
This is why I love Luigi.
What are the rest of y'all up to? And yes,
I was
you can
trying
all
to
get
find a table
together.
because I don't want to be at the bar.
You can all get a table together. You can totally find one for everybody. Whether they join you is up to them. I will say that our two already pre-gaming NPCs happily join you.
Tinker probably doesn't even realize that she's probably still having this conversation with Luigi as she joins them at the table, but she's still talking out loud, so everybody only probably really hears her side of the conversation.
That's okay. We know how to ignore that just fine.
Exactly.
Nora will go ahead and join Del.
We have
as
several
well.
months of practice at this point.
You guys will notice anytime she leaves the ship, she's wearing a different Herongon's face ever since, she's developed.
You're
that
not
ability.
now, but you're not now.
I'm not.
Yep.
You
Because
walked
the
into
null
the bar,
magic effect.
Oh,
you
yeah.
got blown off you.
Good point. I forgot about that.
Hey, Tink, if you're talking to Luigi,
But face paint works.
why don't you tell him about our little problem?
Did Keith freeze?
Yeah, he's going back and forth.
Okay.
He's got some terrible internet gremlins.
Yeah, they were killing me last week. I understand.
So, yeah. So when somebody goes, so how do we broach the subject
Bummer.
with him? Tinker probably goes, oh, and by the way, how would we possibly stop somebody, not you, don't worry, from telepathically messing with our noggins? Like illithids, mind flayers, those things.
Squid faces.
All right. Give me a charisma check. You can add persuasion if you have it. You can have proficiency if you have persuasion. Or just roll your persuasion, however you want to click the button.
Woo!
Nice.
Excellent.
He
It's all the alcohol giving me
for a
that
moment,
charisma boost.
as he is doing all of the many tasks that he does at once, the eye actually rolls and focuses on you. And you hear in your head, because he's not speaking to you out loud, although you may not have noticed. I like you.
I like you too. I love you, man.
To the mind flayer, what do you say? I think he'd say illithids. The illithids will always be probing your thoughts because they can't speak out of their squid faces. And you see their image of their squid faces, like little beak in them, just kind of like doing this and just
Jason, can you
underneath their
speak out of your
tentacles open
face?
up. You see a gross little like
Yeah.
beak thing. And you hear in your head this like burbling, gross sound that is their, I can't remember the name of it offhand. Koalish or something like that. Not koalish, because they're part koala. Something like that. I don't want to look it up right now. You hear their language, which sounds awful. And of course, it's augmented by Luigi's own personal opinion of them. So it's awful because he's sending you his own opinion of them.
She goes, no
And-
offense, but can you speak out of your mouth? Because we've always done this and I never thought about it.
Well, you're on a bar stool now, right?
Probably. I
Okay.
don't know.
he would have kept bothering you till you moved.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I had said she would have gone over to the table with them probably, but just kept talking out loud. But I don't know if she moved back.
His body rotates a little, and you see him moving his mouth, and he is speaking. Make a perception check. All right. So he appears to be answering you out loud.
Ah. He goes, sorry, carry on. You were talking about the squid faces.
And he explains basically that they are incapable of speaking normally. That's why they have to use it. It can be blocked actively if you train yourself to just think about other things. He'll explain that telepathy will normally only be able to pick up whatever your surface thought is. So if you see one, start thinking about like something that is
the song that never ends.
Exactly. And he'll agree with you, 1,000 bottles of beer on the wall, whatever you want to do.
He probably shudders like, oh, yeah, that would work.
Whatever you want to do, and that will mean that the only surface thoughts they'll get is that they have to force themselves to dig deeper into your brain. The problem is many of them are quite adept at that, and unfortunately, the wisest of us are the ones who can most likely dodge it. I.e., you have to make a wisdom saving throw. But he is telling you, if you see someone that can read minds, i.e., one of those, immediately just start in your head going 1,000 balls be on the wall, and their casual conversation in your head will be that. They don't auto get your surface thoughts anymore.
She's like, yeah, luckily, I'm hooped when it comes to the wisdom. I own that, but I am great at the earworms.
Right. So after the next game, I'm going to be sitting here like humming, like, I am stuck on Band-Aids. Band-Aids are stuck on me. I hate you, brother.
I wish I were an
that
Oscar
earworm
Mayer
was put in my
wiener.
head by Corey a decade ago.
So she turns around and goes, okay, guys, earworms. That's the solution.
That does not sound comfortable. I am not putting worms in my ears. That does not sound comfortable.
What on earth are you talking about, Tinker? We only heard half that conversation.
Right. Songs, surface level thoughts. That's usually, if you're really wise, you're probably okay. But come on, we all know I'm hooped when it comes to that. So
you just have to be yourself?
Yes. So like really annoying songs. Who would want to dig through to get through the annoying songs to get to the good stuff underneath in your noodle? It'd be like, ew, no, they've got the bald man sheds a tear stuck in their head. I don't want to go through that.
So you're suggesting that we try to annoy them as a self-defense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine.
Basically, she's trying to get across the concept, but is using weird examples because it's Tinker.
No, we get the picture. We're used to it by now.
You're used to only getting half of the brain thought because it's like, there goes a thought. There goes a thought.
Yeah, Tinker should be immune.
She definitely tips Luigi for that.
All right.
Actually, she probably can't carry much coinage on her because of how big she is. So she's probably poking somebody going, dude, tip the man.
Actually, since you did get a 22 and a nat 20, I'll give you that. At this point, you feel a thought in your head, or you hear his voice because you failed the perception check. You hear his voice, and as you turn and look, it is him speaking. His mouth is moving, and you hear his voice. Have you had a problem with a lizard?
Yeah, they've been sniffing around my shiny with the new engine, and we don't know what they're really doing there. But and then they had like a dead dwarf that they were puppeteering, I guess. I don't know. He attacked my buddies. I wasn't there.
Is
And
she
then he
saying
ran
all
off.
this out loud?
Yes, of course this is out loud.
All right. Do any of y'all throw in on that since you did say it out loud?
Notice
just-
she did not say anything about the portal possibly being part of their
Yeah.
thing.
Noted.
No, we got back from a little trip down to Selune and saw that they were wandering around the area of our ship and had been apparently there for a few days snooping around.
Yeah, and apparently, while we were gone, my buddy Garrulus was working on it. And I think that Dell said that they approached him about it or something. I don't know. Again, I wasn't there. I was too busy sneaking onto
Asking
my ship,
who the owners
past
were.
those bastards, to go figure out minutia.
Asking who the owners were, if we'd be interested in selling, things like that. Seems odd. They have their own ships, their own ship designs.
Yeah, I don't see why they need my ship. They got their own.
Unless they're
Nobody
going to
touched
use
my
it as for piracy and to disguise
For a
that
moment,
it's them.
because he's sharing and doesn't like them, and she got her nat 20 persuasion. You get this like flash in your heads of the Nautiloid ship designs, and at least 5 really exploitable weaknesses in them. Yes,
She's
their
like, oh,
ship
she
designs
starts
are the worst.
she flips over the napkin and starts taking down more notes. Because she's like, ooh, ship weaknesses on people that I do not like. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, go ahead and make, in your case, because you're Tinker, make a check, intelligence, to remember all 5 and understand and comprehend them. The higher you roll, the more of them I'll give you.
Oh, I rolled a 6.
I do not like you at all. Oh, it's a save. Okay. Still, that's a really good roll, but go ahead and make a intelligence.
I rolled an intelligence save as opposed to an intelligence because I am not that smart right now.
All right, so I think y'all's is a +3 normally.
Mine is
saves?
my bonus is +4 for intelligence.
Oh, okay, so yours is a plus. Oh yeah, it says right here it's a 7. I should just looked. All
That's
right,
why I was
so
like,
that'd
it's
be an
+7
18
because
you
I hit
rolled.
save rather than.
All right, so you rolled an
it said
18.
intelligence.
Oh well, no, you can still add your 4. So yeah, just subtracting your proficiency is a 22. You write down some quick notes. You have a general idea what the 5 were. You don't know offhand because you've never seen a nautiloid on the inside. You've seen one like parked.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know offhand exactly what all this means, but you're immediately just start making some notes. Later on, if y'all are in ship combat with a nautiloid and need to do something to it, I will give you advantage to attack a nautiloid with ship weapons or whatnot.
All from the drunken fairy.
What do you do with a drunken fairy? What do you do with a drunken fairy?
Generally,
I see
tape
that
them
going
before they
really
get
bad.
into
Let's
any
not
trouble.
continue that thought at all. All right. So in addition to that, he says as long as they don't break any rules, the guards can't do anything to them. Try not to engage them. They generally try to avoid openly breaking the laws because they don't want to lose their ability to travel the rock and crawl. So they'll avoid open conflict if you avoid open conflict.
That would explain why Buddy warped out of there when you guys were encountering him.
He does point out one more thing. I'll give you this because she's been rolling well. You said he had what did you say was wrong with the dwarf? Do you remember? Can you repeat it?
Dead dwarf that they were puppeteering.
They normally are not necromancers. You might have been dealing with something called an alhun. They're the only ones that use arcane magic. Psychic. There's no psychic magic that can lift and create a zombie. I mean, you could puppet one, but it would just literally be telekinetically lifting a body about and flopping its arms at you, Muppet style.
Gotcha. She shares that with the rest of the class.
This is all communicated telepathically. Therefore, that's why I didn't use the voice.
So she shares that with the rest of the class in true Tinker fashion.
Right. So wizard illithids, even better.
Oh, goody.
Ones with a necromancer ones, which definitely might be interested in our cargo.
Yeah, this doesn't bode well.
Oh, this bodes very interesting indeed. So, Captain Beetlejuice, we're gonna need to find a way to hire some more crew, if only to operate our weapons while we're when we leave here.
Oh, well, did Luigi tell us any about any like weapons or defenses we could buy for ourselves? I mean, that was one of the questions I wanted to ask.
Ship weapons or personal weapons?
Yes, but probably personal. But yes,
Because
both.
we've got some reasonable ship weapons there that we brought in with us, but I haven't asked about shopping.
If there's something like a helm of protection from illithids or something, I don't know.
No, it's just think random thoughts or annoying songs or whatever to keep them out.
No,
That was the
that's
advice
not,
given.
Like, I think that's
Pretend
not
you're Tinker.
exactly what was. That's not exactly what they said. That's not it at all. But that's what Tinker relayed to us. So I guess that's what we're going with.
Well, it's
pretend
the
you're Tinker.
concept is what she's basically conveying via the analogy of annoyance.
The beholder said to make sure they're not getting your surface thoughts, think those things, but they can dive deep into you if they want to, and you need a high willpower for that. That's what they said.
Well, she did
Willpower
say
is so
that
third
people
edition,
with
sir.
higher willpower or higher wisdom
Yes.
would do better at keeping them out. She did say that.
There
she said,
you
we all
go.
know that in that case, I am hooped and I'm going to have to rely on the hopes that they're not going to get through all of the annoying songs that I can throw at them on the surface layer. Because honestly, who would want to dive through all that?
Anyways,
I mean, come on, it makes perfect sense to me.
I'd like some sort of, item that maybe we can get, but sure. People. We can just throw a bunch of people at them. I don't like our odds on that. They seem like regular blokes like you and me. They just kind of blow through pretty easily.
My point was more, when we leave the rock, we want people to be able to operate the cannons.
Well, that's true.
That's kind of what I was going for. People to man the cannons and the ballista.
So who's
Yeah,
our contact? Who's our what's the name of the guy who hired us last? His name was
Johnny?
Yeah,
Johnny Lodestar.
Yeah.
He had a magnetic personality.
Johnny Loads.
Oh, the dad jokes.
Johnny Lodestar. Ah, crap. I just tried to pull the cap off the back of my pencil to get the eraser, and instead the eraser and everything came out, and now there's lead everywhere.
I hate it when that happens.
Really got the lead out.
Yep.
Oh, boo.
Well, that is a mess. Okay. So, yeah, I guess we should contact Johnny and tell him we need some crew. And since he's a person who puts people together with jobs, that would be the way to go.
Would seem so. He drops by here fairly often.
My way, he's in here.
Tell you what.
Is
Sarah
that?
hasn't spoken in a while.
Wait, I think
Sarah, I
that's
haven't heard your voice in a while, odd or even.
odd. Always, I'll be like, I think that's Johnny over there. Hey, Johnny!
All right, I'll go with it.
No, it wasn't him. I don't think that was him. I don't think that was-
Even. It was not him.
I don't think that was him.
I don't think it was. Okay. So, well, we've still got a couple days' work left on the ship anyway, from what Garrulus said, if I remember correctly. So that gets us a little bit of time to.
I feel like he said tomorrow.
Sure.
So a day's work.
Yeah. So a little bit more, and we don't have. There's nothing to say we have to head out immediately either. So we've got a couple of days we could put together a crew.
All right. Well, I got some stuff I need to sell. I got these magical javelins that
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They're just not. They're just not speaking to me. I think I'm gonna trade them in for something. I don't know, something better.
All right.
So I'm gonna head to the market and see if there are collectors about.
Well, everything's kind of closed at night, but y'all can go in the morning.
Okay, in the morning then. Then I'm going to bed. I'm gonna hit the bunk.
All right. Everybody gets a full night's sleep. If you don't have everything restored on your character, go ahead and assume that it's restored. You have your spell slots back and whatever else you need. I don't think anybody spent anything except for Sarah, who did waste a disguise self spell.
I did what?
You wasted a disguise self spell and then walked into a place that immediately shut it off of you.
Oh, yes, I did do that.
Right. I didn't take any hit points because I never take any hit points of damage. No, wait, I did. I have hit point damage.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll look to sell that that mace as well that I've got, because I don't have it's not as useful to me.
All right.
The living wooden +1 mace, or living wood anyway.
All right. Night passes that instant. Y'all get up for the morning and head out to go shopping. You said you have a +1 mace you want to sell. I don't remember offhand the price of a mace, but a +1 mace, I'm gonna say you can easily get a couple hundred gold for it. But if you want to negotiate for something better, we got to role play that out.
Oh no, I'll take cash straight up.
All right, and you can have 200 gold. And Corey, what was your
Wow, that's seems pathetically low.
Kind of does, doesn't it? For Actually, well, for a magical, for a magical wooden mace, 200 seems kind of.
Yeah, really pathetically low.
I'm gonna try and negotiate him up a bit there.
Okay.
What do you need out of that?
If you'd like to haggle with me, persuasion would work, unless you're going to try and say that it belongs to somebody impressive, and then you can go like deception or deceit.
Hey, mate.
You know,
hey, mate.
you tell me how you want to try and haggle.
Have some Eagle Splendor. Tap, tap.
I mean, you could just straight up go with intimidation if you want. You're going to be 500 gold for this, or I'm going to pull your balls off, or whatever you want to say. I don't know. To which the lady is like, "What do you mean?"
I'll use persuasion here, and I'll emphasize how low it seems that he's offering, given how much he's likely to sell it for.
And you have advantage.
But he'll counter, of course, with the point that he has to make a profit. But let's see how you roll.
Absolutely, but I'm willing to say you should make a profit of 100% on it, but I feel uncomfortable with you making a profit of 1,000%. All right, persuasion with advantage because of Eagle Splendor.
Yeah, Eagle Splendor, some nice stuff. All right. All right, for you, 350.
Sorry, I'm glitching here. Say that again.
350. 350 gold.
500. You can easily get 1,500 for this. 500.
400 final offer.
All right, I'll take 400.
Sold. All right, you got 400 gold and one less mace. Corey, tell me about your things.
All right, I'm also casting Eagle Splendor on myself. And,
all right.
And I want...
This aura of beautiful feathers surrounds you that can only be seen through eyes that can see magic.
I got 2 javelins. They're +1 apiece, and they can be dual wielded for another +1.
Oh, the
Yeah.
The clockwork ones. Yes, those were neat.
Yeah, I can't do any. I'm not a dual wielder person.
They're not. You may not be, but they were. They are a neat, useful magical item.
They are. And somebody else can have some neat use out of them. Not me. I'm a sword and board kind of guy. I use a shield.
Right. Are you making a persuasion check as well, or do you have some other way of negotiating? Or
well, first I'll ask what they're gonna offer for it, and I will take trade.
For them, he's gonna throw out a base price. He says for these 1,000 gold.
I'll say you deal magical items?
I do. I assume you went to a store that deals in magical items.
I would love to see some magical items that maybe we could do a trade for.
What are you looking for? We have plenty. I don't put them all up in stock in front because, we don't want to encourage robberies.
Look, mate, I'm dealing with a particular problem here.
Yes.
Has to do with psychic attacks and that kind of thing.
Ooh.
So I was wondering if you had something that could help me against those kind of attacks.
I may have just the thing for you. Come with me. This side room over here, and he will lead you into the side room. This is, by the way, a human-ish person. You think he might be a half-elf. You're not entirely sure. And he's very, very posh. Let me show you what we have here. Just have the side room. Y'all may continue to window shop. Be aware. There are multiple people in this room watching. You just can't see them. And he will take you to the side room. And in the side room that he leads you into, you see that it is filled with basically wooden mannequin heads or dummy heads, all adorned with multiple different types of helms. And on one of them that appears to be bare. Would it be? Oh, no, because you have to tune. You see it. It is a silver helm that comes down mostly like if a yarmulke actually came all the way down instead of just being like up here. Like that.
Right.
And he says, this, I believe, is what you're looking for. Once you have bonded with this item, you know how this works, yes? When you bond with something, you bond with this, and what it does is essentially grant you a greater ability to fight against those that would attack your mind with any of their mental attacks, whether it be to invade your thoughts, or even, are you familiar with the entertainers that when they strum their instruments and say mean things and it hurts?
You mean charm
These
spells?
Mean things. No. There's one very specific to the entertainers where they say something mean and you bleed out your nose.
Right.
Oh!
Out of character, that'd be vicious mockery.
Yeah, I know this spell out of character, but
All right. So yeah, anyway, be aware that that's a thing you should totally watch out for. But yes, this will give you the ability to resist it, any incoming damage of that type, as well as even when you are struck by something that can't be easily resisted, you just are stronger against it. So essentially, if you
resistance.
get advantage on saves and you are resistant to damage, psychic.
I'm like, all right. I like what you're saying here. I think I'll take it.
No, and also it's an interesting side note. When you're wearing this, once you are bonded with it, it does vanish. You appear to not be wearing it. People will see your hair as it would appear normally.
It's weird, but okay. I mean, sure. It's not gonna vanish on me. Like
I mean, when you're wearing it, like you can take it off, you'll see it. You put it on, it's gone.
Okay, so it's not just gonna vanish on me. Like
no, you'll know where you put it. You'll see it.
Okay,
when you put it somewhere.
Sounds good.
Not gone
I like
forever.
this.
That would be hilarious.
I'll give you both the javelins, and you can give me that and 300 gold. How's that sound?
Well, the selling price for this is 2,000 gold, and I offered you 1,000.
Oh,
that's
right.
going to be a problem.
Okay. You're playing hardball, right? I mean, you can make
Trade
up whatever
value
price
should
you
be
want.
higher than cash value.
You can make up.
So I'm thinking trade value
Oh,
would
did
be
you follow us into this
1,500.
room? Did Dell follow us into this room? I didn't hear him.
I was in the shop with him.
Yeah, we went to a side room. That was made clear.
Ah. All right. Fair.
Dell like peeking in from the side. Hey, trade value's worth more.
I mean, you could make up whatever price you want for this, but yeah, we're doing, but we're also like trading here. So I got 2 items, and you got the 1 item that I want. I mean, I didn't know I wanted it before, but maybe somebody else
your
has.
items are made to work together. You see. So I assumed we were offering. My offer was for both earlier.
Oh yes, of course, both of them. I get the helmet, and how about this? Instead of gold, we'll do another trade. Trade. I'm looking for like a really good druid, like a kind of an upper tier druid. Not this bloke over here. He can't help me.
You, man.
Not like Dell out here. I mean, I need somebody who has some like interesting knowledge of like plants and animals and stuff like that. My friend, he's a druid, but he only does stars. I need like someone good at like trees.
Okay.
If you know anything like that or can put me in the right direction, I think we might have a deal.
Okay, so I'm going to need more in order to provide you with these things.
What? What are you talking about? More?
More.
No, I need more.
No, yes. I feel like we're not connecting here.
Feel like there's a disconnect. Yeah.
Make a persuasion check, please.
Sure. um.
With your Eagle Splendor advantage, blah, blah, blah. I know.
Well,
Oh.
it wasn't a 1.
No, the 1 is ignored. Also, when that came up on my screen on how to do on yours, the 1 came up, but the other one was blank for a moment. I was like, oh, there it is. Yes. I'll tell you what. I do want to do business with you. I think I might be able to get a buyer for your dual wielding spears or whatnot. But I know I can also get a buyer for this helm because, there's beholders and lithids and so many other creatures out there that just want to grab into people's brains and every annoying ball
All right,
out there.
I got something else for you. I got something else. I get in my bag and I pull out from the back of it a net made of vines.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay.
He looks it over. Out of character, know what you're talking about, but
see
in
this,
character.
see this net? Watch this. And I cut the net in half, and then or part of the net in half, and I take the 2 pieces and I put them back together, and they regenerate back together. I'm like, regenerate net.
Oh, you see the wheels turning. Very well, we have a deal, and I actually do know someone offhand that can probably give you the answers you need regarding plants or whatnot.
Excellent.
So, very well, we are in agreement, and he offers his hand.
I spit in my hand, and I put it right there, and I give him a nice...
The shudders. Oh, very well. Oh, please take your helm. The man you're looking for can be found. I last saw him. He's staying in an inn near the tavern, the Happy Beholder. You're familiar with it, yes?
Oh, yeah, I know where the Happy Beholder is.
Most people are. The man you're looking for answers to Irontooth.
Irontooth. Right. And that would be a dwarf or a...
No. He walks off. He's disgusted. He's wiping his hand off.
I'll figure it out. Irontooth. Can't be that hard.
All right.
Grab the cap. Put the spears in the net. Right down where he can
As
grab
you set your stuff down, the spears in the net, they are lifted up and they walk away on their own in the air.
Cool. Grab my little skull cap. Pop it on my head. I'm not attuned to it yet, but I'm just keeping it there.
You are wearing your hat.
It's a very cunning hat.
Do we need a recite or anything? No, it's just a handshake, right? We don't need paper involved in this.
No, please go. All right. And nothing stops you as you leave. You're not attacked by invisible guards or anything awesome.
All right. And my
anybody else have any
living net
business with
is
this man?
gone. All right. Now I have to figure out a way to unlock my living whip. And that's my plan with Irontooth, is to get him to somehow arise the magic of the living whip, or figure out a way to ensorcel it.
Quite possibly can. All right. So
Sorry,
you head
Del.
back to the Happy Beholder.
Huh? Yeah, I'm heading toward the Happy Beholder, but if anybody else needs to do anything this morning, like...
I actually feel the need to go wash my hand, and I blame you completely.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, if anybody else doesn't have anything to do, I'll railroad the game. take it over and go to the Happy Beholder. I'll ask Dell if he wants to come with me. I'm heading to the Happy Beholder. I gotta find this guy named Irontooth.
I could use some lunch.
He's a fellow druid. You'd probably know how to talk to him better.
Sure. We'll go with that.
Technically, you would. There is a secret druid language.
Oh, I know.
You know, the secret handshake and all that.
But that's that's a lot similar to saying, "Hey, you're from Canada. Do you know Bob?"
You mean you don't know all other Canadians?
I don't know
Come
any.
on.
Look, I know there's only 40 of us, but no, we're spread out over a large area.
Okay. All right.
You say that Corey and I live further away than I live from either Brenna or Keith. Because he's in Alaska.
Yes,
But he wasn't always.
That's
True.
true. That was
You
really hard to
know-
have met him kids.
You know, if I asked Keith about another Canadian, he would put his nose up and say, "How dare you?" But I know deep down he knows the guy. He 100%.
I'm thinking you are overestimating, sir. I'm thinking it's like a 33% chance at most.
I don't know. I think Canada's a pretty big place.
It's mostly like tundra. That's what I heard.
Lord Tundra Jesus.
Yeah, I believe that
Brenna's
you
probably the
worship
only
tundra
one that would
Jesus.
get that joke.
Hey, I have Ukrainian cousins up in Canada because that's where the smart ones settled.
So basically, no one lives in the Ukraine, is what you're saying.
No, I have relatives there too, still.
Yeah.
But you know, my grandmother settled in Chicago because she thought that was a good idea.
Oh, all right. So back to the Happy Beholder. Luigi will turn off any spell effects that are up. Eudora, do you have one up? Not anymore. Mark off a spell slot if you need to. As for the rest of you, I'm assuming nobody had any spells up. You go in during lunch. It's still busy. A lot of people do go in there. It's not quite as like noisy as it is at night, but it's pretty decent.
Okay.
You get Tinker actually was the one who impressed him with her cuteness, I guess. So she gets the wink, which she doesn't blink. That requires a lot of
Where's
work
that
with
giant
all
eye
of the
winky
stalks. I assume the eye stalks on Beholder blink, but I've never really thought before. They must, right?
They've got eyelids in every
That
drawing
is
I've ever
super
seen.
creepy to think about.
Maybe they all just do it
sounds wrong.
sequentially, like just starting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it gets around to the big one and just starts over. Anyway. So yes, y'all are there. You're in front of large Luigi. If you order drinks, they will be served as well as any lunches you ordered. Essentially, you order from him and then a server brings it. You don't necessarily need to talk to your server because they get their orders.
Hi.
Okay.
Hey, Tink. Is Tinker here?
Yes.
Yes, Tinker. I'm looking for a guy named Irontooth, and he lives around here. So if you could, like, ask around for the guy. Oh, brilliant. Thank you.
Tinker sober, I am not. Just for the record.
Yeah.
So
Are you sure she's sober? Because she's been downing quite a bit too.
It's a new day.
it is. She's technically she's hungover.
Oh,
is what
that's
we're
true.
saying.
You're right. It is a new
Hair of
day.
the
You're
dog.
right. You're right.
So she's hungover, really, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that they could have gone in depth on it for us lushes, and said there is a level of alcoholism where the next day isn't necessarily a complete cure. But to do that, anyone that's worked in the healthcare field is well aware of most of your wounds aren't good by tomorrow. So it's a new day. Everything's healed, including alcoholism. You have to start over. All right. So, you, I assume, address Luigi, are you looking to ask random folks around the bar? What are you looking for? All up on you, Brenna. All right. Sorry, I know you've been drinking, but I don't want to speak for you because that also seems rude.
Basically, she probably would start out the bar and then from there go to Garrulus.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna carouse people. I'm gonna be like, I'm looking. Hey, how you doing, folks? Do you know a guy named Irontooth? I'm gonna be walking around the bar doing that.
Okay. Jagger, when you address Luigi, because you said you would start there, if I understood correctly, he will respond. Irontooth is in that corner, and if you look, you can look. You get the sense that he pointed, but in actuality, his body didn't point at anything because he didn't even have hands. But you look the way he indicates, and sure enough, there is a man sitting alone in a corner booth. He has food in front of him. He has a kind of just a drab brown coat. It's not like super gothy or anything. He does have a hood. It's pulled back a little, but so you can see his face. And when you look at his face, actually, I think Tinker will be the most interested by this. His face is completely metal, and he
What
has
kind of metal?
juts of metal coming up from his mouth that look kind of fang-like. Essentially, you're looking at a warforged who has kind of like orc tusks, but they are metal as well as the rest of him, and that is Irontooth.
What kind of metal is what she's like? Assuming it's iron, but she would know.
From a distance, you're not entirely sure. It's some sort of worked metal, so it's not like raw iron. It's probably some sort of steel.
All right.
And I assume that Brenna knows what a warforged is, yes?
Sorry, I didn't catch the word.
A warforged?
It's in the Eberron
Yes,
book that I
yes.
loaned you.
Ah, okay. Just wearing his
So you guys
brown
are
cloak, and
finding the
he has something in front of him,
Warforged druid there.
which you initially assume is a meal, but now that you know he's a warforged, you're like, what is in front of him? Because I'll say that Tinker, based on her knowledge and the fact that she's worked a lot with autognomes, probably suspects maybe that is not a meal. But maybe it is, because it is in front of him on the table.
Or maybe he's pretending to be human. I don't
Could
know.
be. There's nothing preventing them from eating, but they don't need to. Could be that he's just trying to see what it's like.
All right.
You want to float over there? Or?
Yep.
All right. Corey, you see Tinker fly away from Luigi over to a corner, and you see her talking to a robot.
Okay. I'll be like,
Clearly, she has given up the task. She's now excited by a robot.
Yeah.
Yes, Tinker would be.
I'm like, oh, I hope she's finding out who this Irontooth person is. That's what I asked her for, and she come back here and tell me. But you know, Tank, never understand her. So she can't focus on a task.
Oh, she can. It's just not in the same way you do. Doesn't see the same things as important as you do.
So in front of him at the moment, as you get closer, directly in front of him is it looks like an eel. I'll give to you that you recognize it because it isn't cut up and cooked. And he is kind of prodding it with a fork and just like studying it. And then there is a cup of oil instead of liquid that you would normally drink. But he might. You're not sure. He looks up at you without moving his head, like the sockets just kind of like shift upward and look at you, focus in. Hello.
Hello, my name's Tinker. Are you Irontooth?
I am.
Nice to meet you. Hold on. Out of character, I forgot why we're here.
Beetlejuice asked you to help him find Irontooth.
Right, I found him. Didn't say what to do after that point, so she's going to start chatting him up and basically talking shop. She's not going to be asking rude and prying questions.
Not at least not in her own opinion.
She's not asking him what he has in his pants.
For copper.
Yeah,
right.
so she's probably asking him, what brings him to
He
the rock.
actually seems amiable enough. Like because Irontooth isn't really up on human or humanoid social cues, he's going to assume that this is a normal conversation. We'll just answer your questions.
It's like it's normal to have conversations out of nowhere with
Very well.
hungover fairies, mechanics.
As you're speaking, from his point of view, there's a drop-down menu of each possible response, and he selects one. And the bottom one is always F you a-hole. But you never can select it.
There's a couple of them that are grayed out that he can't pick because his charisma's not high enough.
Or he didn't select the right option a little ways back.
So, yes, he is happy to talk shop with you. If you ask him what he is, he'll explain what Warforged are to you, and his own knowledge of them, because he doesn't necessarily know exactly how he's created because he was only kind of there.
Well, she's also like, I'm friends with a couple of auto gnomes, and so it's partially. She's also phrasing it not as I'm just being curious because I'm an asshole, also as
well, then
trying to
Tinker will
understand.
learn that the Warforged are aware of the existence of auto gnomes, but they're not from the same place, so they can only assume that they have a similar creation method. They're not actually sure.
Interesting. So basically, she's trying to be clear that it's
right. Okay. And y'all have a long talk about Warforged and what they are. And he is happy to tell you what he knows. He'll even go into how they were created for war. And when the war ended, they didn't know what to do with themselves. And they all had to go find themselves. And he found, separating himself from it completely, he turned to nature. And that is how he became a druid.
Oh, cool. I have one of my buddies is a druid too. He deals with stars and stuff.
Oh, interesting. I mostly deal in trees and I find fascinating just the way trees grow, and he will start telling you how trees grow.
She's listening, and throughout the story, she's also sharing her own, however it applies. So she's not just
Okay.
She's sharing information back and forth.
Meanwhile, what are the rest of y'all up to? I know that Corey is questioning people. Hey, do you know who this guy is? Anybody else doing anything before I flip back to Corey? Eudora, Adele. Hello.
Hello. I'm just sitting back and at a table and having lunch. I'm letting them do their thing. My connectivity issues get a bit more challenging for me to be
Understood.
more participatory. So
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No.
I'm not really sure who to accompany because both Tinker and Corey's character are equally likely to get themselves in trouble. So I feel like I should watch both of them, but I guess I'll go with Beetlejuice.
All right. And Corey, you were going to walk around and just start asking people?
Yeah, be like, hey mate, how you doing? I'm looking for a bloke named Irontooth. Just ask some people.
All right. As you ask random people, throw me a roll on persuasion unless you have something better.
Has it been an
This
hour?
is no longer a thing that you can roll.
Has it been an hour or less than an hour since the last time I made a persuasion roll?
I will say it's been less than an hour since you
All
just
right.
came here directly from the place.
All
So
right.
I'll give you the advantage.
Again, a solid
13 is your
13.
number, sir. Lucky 13. All right. So you don't upset anyone. That's good to know. Most people just are some people will shrug you off because you're just some guy who wandered up to them or trying to eat lunch. Some people engage you and not really know what you're talking about. Finally, you get to one guy and you're just like starting to think nobody in here is going to know a dang thing. Nobody knows who this dude is. You get to one guy and he's like, who, what's that? Iron Fang Tooth, Iron Tooth. Yeah, I know who he is. I think he's in that corner over there talking to the little wing girl.
Oh, hey, thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, have a drink on me, and I give him a silver piece. And
You're my kind of people. And then he immediately holds up his thing and he thinks towards the bartender, and it'll all get resolved.
right, gotta take off a silver piece. Do I have a silver piece? Yes, I have 5 of them. Now I have 4. All right, I'll head on over there. I'll come up next to
and
Tink.
having a deep conversation about how trees grow and what makes the tree ant very special as far as humanoids or other creatures go versus regular trees and also versus humans is Tinker and apparently Irontooth, the Warforged druid.
I'll walk up and I'll say, "Hey, Tink, who's your friend?"
This is Irontooth.
Oh, really?
Irontooth Beetlejuice.
How do you do, Mr. Irontooth? I'm Ramesh
Hi,
Beetlejuice.
Irontooth.
This is Eudora. She's a good friend of mine, and so is Tink. And we were wondering what all our friend Tink was up to.
You all more than welcome then. Your friend Tinker is very sociable.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Life for the party, this one.
Do you need refreshments? I can signal.
Oh no, I'm
He
good.
points towards Luigi.
Eudora, you need anything?
Sure. I'll have what you're having.
Sure. Good
It's
drinks,
eel.
good friends. New port to call. That's what I'm after.
He looks towards Luigi and orders, and within a minute, a woman will come over and hand you a plate with an eel on it and a cup of oil.
Bottoms up.
Don't stop me! Stop. I slap it out of her hand. Peck.
Yeah, she goes, no, that's not your type of oil. And she basically pulls out a flask, basically a little oil, and screws it, pours the oil into her little oil can, pops it back in her pocket.
Oh, okay.
So I'm Miss
Although that
Irontooth.
would be amazing.
We require different types of lubrication than your oil.
Oh my god.
Oh, apologies, my bad.
You're a funny one. That's a funny joke.
The eyes just kind of shift focus towards Beetlejuice while he speaks. He's a hard face to read.
Hey, what do you do? What do you do for a living, Mr. Irontooth? What do you?
He's a druid.
Are you a mechanic? Oh, you're a druid, huh?
I am a druid.
Tell you what. Have you ever seen anything? And I pull out my living whip and I put it down in front. Have you seen anything like this before?
He picks it up and he will study it. He will make a roll because that's a good question. Not exactly, but similar. Hands it back to you.
All right.
He's technically answered your question.
What do you know about it? Because I know, I just know where I got it, and I don't know much more than that. If it takes damage, it can regenerate on its own. My shield, and I pull out my shield. My shield comes from the same place, does the same thing.
If it is growing on its own, then the plant is still alive. And one moment, and he picks it up and he regards it. He appears to be casting a spell. Does anyone stop him?
No.
Okay. He casts a
Although
spell.
I would probably
Is he
try
able
and
to
figure
in
out what it was.
Luigi's?
He's in a corner booth, so yes, until Luigi looks his way. In which case, no. He casts a spell, and he will appear to just be staring at it intently for a moment. Your weapon is a living plant. It likes you. It understands you. Yes, that is most acceptable way to phrase this.
Right. That's
Because
nice.
you are attuned to it, right?
Uh,
Was it attuned? I don't remember.
I think it was, yeah, because you didn't have your regular whip at the time, so you attuned to that one so that you could
yeah,
use
I
it.
have a
I don't
whip and a
recall you
shield, but I didn't think
Yeah.
you said.
But I don't recall you unattuning it.
I don't remember anyone saying I had to attune to it. I didn't know they were tunable things.
Oh, that's what you're asking about. You want to attune to it.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Yep, sorry.
Okay.
And I don't know how, 'cause-
it is currently without it seeks a partner and does not have one. That's how he phrases this.
Right. So I can attune to it like any other magical item then, but I can't?
You could if it understood. That's right. I do remember now. Like it's all like clicking now. Because the Irontooth elder was like there to explain, and he took Eudora's character aside and taught her how to attune using something akin to the Druid language, but it was actually Irontooth language. But yes, this is a good substitute, and yes, he can teach you how to attune to it. Your mission is accomplished. I assume that's what you're going to do.
Woo! That's exactly what I want to do.
All right, it's all clicking again. I know what we were doing.
I'm like, thank you so much, Mr. Irontooth. What can I do for you? Is there anything you need?
He thinks for a moment. Not at this time. No, I am good.
Right. Hey, how many items can you attune to at a time?
I don't know offhand, but I can look it up.
Yeah, because you've been giving me stuff.
All players can begin the game with 3 attunement slots, which means that unless they have some special feat or ability, they generally only attune to 3 items at once.
Right. Okay. I don't have to attune Elven Chain. That's not an attunable item.
No, it's
So that's
just
good.
Elven Chain.
The skull cap I have has to be attuned. And now I have a whip and a shield, so that takes all of my attuning slots.
Does
Unless
the
you get
shield need to
something
be
cool.
attuned?
Huh?
There's a ring that you attune to it, and it grants you one attunement slot. You
Does
should get that ring.
That's useful. Does the shield need to be attuned? I thought it was just a shield.
No, so all of our weapons were given up. And I asked them
Yeah.
for a shield and a whip, and Howard said yes to both of them. I also asked for that net. So I got all of those, and then they all have the same properties: living, regenerating.
I think that Sarah kept her net, right?
Mm-hmm. She should have one, a living net.
I think so, yeah.
Probably never wrote it on her character sheet.
You know me too well. I do forget to do that.
You do need to do that.
She also has no gold currently. Just saying. She forgot that too.
Anyways, I asked him if there's anything I can do for him.
And he will repeat then again that there's nothing you can do for him at this time.
Oh, well, if you ever need anything, we are the crew of the Melina, that dwarven ship out in port over there. It's a good ship, very good ship. So maybe if you need to go anywhere, we could take you there, or something like that.
Can't say it's a very good ship without my brain going lollipop.
It's the lollipop.
I'm glad it's
Riker-
not just me.
Riker saying, "Our ship is the lollipop. It's a good ship." It's good.
I remember that too. All right. Yeah, that's all he has for you at this time. He doesn't need anything. He is just sitting at the bar doing his thing, which currently is prodding and trying to understand how electricity works in eel.
Right.
And
Well,
Ghidorah
if Tinker
apparently
knows
is
anything-
considering eating a raw eel.
What'd you say?
I was going to say, if Tinker knows anything about electricity, she would probably be assisting him.
Okay. If you like, you could make a nature check because eels are natural. Tinker with the nat 20s today on
Wow.
nothing important.
I don't know.
Can't
Persuading
save
large
those for next
Luigi
time we're in combat.
persuading large Luigi seemed a pretty important role.
Tinker, you
That's true.
recall once when you were trying to see if harnessing the natural electricity of animals was worth it as far as batteries go when you couldn't get a regular battery. And you began telling him all about the research you did for about 3 days of intense work before you got interested in something else.
There was no sleep in that entire time either.
And everybody else can just be impressed by her incredible knowledge for someone with total ADHD.
Of course.
But he is entranced by your every word because he seeks knowledge and you are just erupting in knowledge at the moment.
Until she gets distracted by something. And then goes nonverbal while she tinkers with something.
All right. Anything else you want to accomplish tonight? It's already 11. We still have another hour. You are more than welcome to do anything you like. You do know that there are possibly undead, some sort of necrotic dwarves watching you, or at least one was. And you do know that there was at least one Illithid watching your ship and had talked to some of the people working on your ship. Is there anything y'all would like to do tonight? As far as, we'll just say Quijos and Sano are back at Sano's place, sleeping it off.
I want to check in on the ship one last time here. Just make sure that everything's copacetic.
All right. You as a group. Is everyone all right with that?
Sure. Yeah. Back up.
Cool.
We got to back up Dell on this because there's people doing shady stuff.
And sometimes we shouldn't split the party, but sometimes we apparently should. So,
But
the group.
if you like, before we go do that, can I attune my helmet at least so I can, like, if an Illithid does come up, I'd have some defense on it.
We can take the hour that you need for that.
Okay, so I'll attune the helmet.
Bunch of Luigi's.
Yeah, I'll do it in the
All right,
corner
y'all-
booth.
We'll have to do it at Sano's place so that
Yeah.
you're not under the influence of Luigi's anti-magic.
Yeah, has to do it at
That's a good point. Good looking out. I keep forgetting that.
Okay, we'll do that, and then we'll all go. By the way, is this a named magical item from the book that I can just drag and drop in my character sheet, or is this something you made up?
Is the tinfoil hat, sir?
Ah, you made that up, right?
I totally made up the tinfoil hat
Excellent.
because I really love the idea that you are wearing an item to protect you from other people trying to invade your mind and hurt you with their minds, and nobody else can see this item, but you know you're wearing it, damn it. You know you're wearing it.
Is it made of tinfoil?
It is made of silver.
Close enough.
What's the weight on it?
I have no idea. Not negligible. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Is a thin, like yarmulke-like hat. Not
Okay.
as big as the one Merlin wore in the old British Excalibur movie, but it's not quite that big. It doesn't cover your whole skull, but a good portion.
So it's a helm of mind shielding.
Yeah, helm of mind shielding, but I like tinfoil hat.
All right, excellent. Hopefully that'll help. And it gives me advantage on wisdom saves and resistance to psychic attacks.
Right, including psychic damage.
Off we go then, to the ship.
Okay. Y'all have your lunch at Sano's. Sano is pretty much out of it, so is Kihos. But they are both sure that the hair of the dog is the best cure, and they immediately get back into it. Sano does not keep up with Kihos at all, for the record, because that man weighs like 5 pounds. All right. Anyway, y'all get back to the docks. It is 1 or 2 in the afternoon at this point. So there's light out. The light here is weird because you can look at the sky and see space, but there's enough light that it's kind of like daylight around the area. Just you're in that weird area where you're close to the planet, but not super close. You have day and night, but you're not, but you still see a night sky when you look up beyond the planet or the asteroid. So you're out the docks. You see yours. You do see a nautiloid still parked there. You're looking around. You don't immediately see anyone out of the ordinary that shouldn't be there. You do see some doors working there. The canvases, tarp, whatever is pulled up. They are putting the finishing touches on your ship. And
All right.
what do you do?
I'm going to walk around the ship, but not close to the ship, just kind of around the area to double check that there's not somebody hiding in like.
All right. So give me a perception check.
I will aid you because I also want to look around.
All right. Corey, you want to roll for yourself, or would you like him to roll with advantage? I can roll again.
I mean, it comes out the same either way, but I'll roll for myself then.
All right.
Normal roll.
Can you roll lower than a 7? You cannot. You fail. All right. So with a 22, Bill looks around. He doesn't seem to notice anything, but you're right behind him looking, and you're like, over there. And the two of you notice, because you are working in conjunction, there is a person kind of shambling as he walks in a cloak. He is walking, so you can tell while he's a medium-sized creature, he's a little shorter than your average humanoid. He's a distance away, like down the docks, but he is kind of shambling this way. And with a 22, I'll give you that you kind of tell this cloaked figure is occasionally looking towards your ship and area, but he's not moving very fast. He's not doing anything like to overly attract any attention to himself, but he stands out to you, especially due to your encounter last night. Could be why he stood out to you over Dell, who normally would have the same perception ability.
I say, yeah. I just like you said, I point him out to the guy, point him out to Dell, tell him that's probably one of their minions.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It doesn't
So
take
they're
any
still
notice
watching.
of you so far.
Yeah, of course they're still watching.
Is that nautiloid still around?
Yes, it's parked right next to your ship like it was last night.
Right. All right. I'd like to board our ship.
All right, roll a con save. No, I'm just kidding. All right, y'all walk up to the ship or just Dell?
Follow Dylan.
Tinker and Eudora? Are you following?
Tinker's probably looking at the Nautilus and contemplating the weak points.
Okay, cool. Eudora, you following? Or you stay with Tinker?
I'll follow.
All right. Y'all board the ship. There are dwarves working. There is one dwarf standing there in like full plate, just standing there holding a big spear, and he has a shield, and he's not really moving. He sees you coming up and goes, who goes?
Del Starwind.
Thinks for a moment. Look you over. Yeah, all right, that matches. Welcome aboard.
This is the rest of the crew. They're coming with me.
I'm the captain.
All right, come on in then. Welcome aboard. You and your whoever you vouch for. And
right.
y'all are allowed onto your ship. Essentially, they don't let just anyone walk up onto your ship while you're not there. They have one good guard posted,
Right.
ready to stab people with a big old spear.
I also point out the shuffling figure and say, keep an eye on that one. They look like they might be trouble.
He looks it over and is, I'll make his perception check. He's a decent guard. Or is he? Yeah, he's all right. So fella's been shuffling around here for a while. Didn't know his problem. Want me to confront him?
Oh no, I wouldn't do that. He's dangerous. I confronted one of those. I confronted one of those blokes, and they attacked me. So I suggest leaving them be for now. They're not doing anything but watching. That said, they're the eyes of the crew of the Nautilus over there.
The brain floggers.
Sure you don't want me to confront him?
I mean, I
All right,
warned
put him on
you.
this thing.
I warned you. It's on you. I mean, that's your
Yeah,
choice.
it's not really my job, but you know, if you're the crew of this ship and I'm guarding the ship, I could confront him if you needed it. In other
Thanks.
words, doing it is not actually currently in his orders, but if y'all said it was a threat, it could become a part of it. He could work it in. Like he's ready to fight, but he needs just the slightest provocation. Y'all give him a reason. He will go stick something in that guy. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we should poke the beehive just yet.
You
We
lost me.
we've already shook them with just a tad. We don't want them to know anymore.
All right, well, I'll tell my men to keep an eye. I mean, we're going to be done here, I think, today. So just doing finishing touches, what I was told. I've been reassigned for tomorrow. And speaking of which, yeah, the place looks pretty much good to go. There are people like doing like finishing touches here and there, like just double checking make sure all the like wood is replaced and all the like paint's dry and spackle is dry and so forth. It just nothing is out of place. It looks like they're mostly just checking to make sure the place is cleaned up and ready to go.
Right.
It's already been all the work's been pretty much done.
All right.
Oh.
Well,
That one of the guys who did report in that it looked like somebody may have been in here last night, but we couldn't find anything out of place. Nothing was missing, but we did find some stuff moved about. We do think there might have been someone prowling around. You think it was one of them?
Oh yeah, that's That's a
Almost
huge
definitely.
possibility. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, if we can find any proof of that, we'll be sure and hand it to you. Somebody was definitely in the command area, where the
Command
Spelljammer
area.
helm is.
Great.
Show me.
All right.
Or have somebody show me.
Yeah, he'll call a guy over, and the other guy will show y'all. Take you over there and say, yeah. So when I got here, this was. It's normally like up here, like hung up, and the helm was just sitting there on the chair. Also, one of the other guys said it looked like the ship may have been like moved slightly. We think that someone messed with your Spelljammer helm last night.
You don't mind
I'm
if I
gonna look.
Oh, sorry.
I'm
ahead.
gonna look over the helm myself, see what it is, see if I can see any signs of
That's-
sabotage.
That's exactly what I was going to do. I was going to be like, I would like to make an investigation check and search
Well,
the area.
then y'all can either roll them separately or grant the other advantage. I don't care which you pick.
My
I'll grant
intelligence.
you advantage.
Yeah, I'm giving you advantage.
Me
No,
advantage.
you're the smart one. No, you're the smart one.
I am not the smart one.
You look. No, you check.
I do have proficiency in investigation though.
Well, Dell already rolled a
Metagame.
4 with advantage. You look it over, and you're like, I don't see anything. You start looking around the area, and there, there's some footprints in the dust, but there are all this construction going around. You just can't figure it out. There are some footprints that look like they might be big for a dwarf, but you're not really sure.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to have detect magic? You know who has detect magic? Hey, where's Tink? Tink, where'd she go?
She's busy plotting sabotaging of their ship.
Tink's our detect
Which
magic
is super
person.
ironic, guys. Super ironic that the one who actually was the one who stuck in here last night is not available to tell you anything.
Most people are like, oh, it's what my character would do as an excuse to be a jerk. In my case, it's because I literally have ADHD too. So it's like, ooh.
All right. Yeah, Tink's not there. You look around. Oh yeah, Tink's not here. She floated away, as Tinker does.
Well, I hope she's doing all right.
But obviously, I would return once you let me know what I could find out about sabotaging their ship.
Tinker, you were the one in the ship last night.
Oh. Shush. This is why I normally don't drink during game night.
Hey, I drank plenty.
At least I haven't proclaimed Tunnel Duck to be sexy. Unlike
All
some
right.
people.
I'm
And
just
now my
saying.
character's gonna die.
I'm just saying, you spend the night with Donald Duck. In the morning, you just put it on his bill.
Oh my god.
Are you suggesting?
What?
Are you?
Don't go there. Just don't think about it. Just don't think about it.
Okay, I'm not. I'm dropping it.
We'd like to apologize to all of our viewers for weird in jokes.
Yeah, the whole
Super
Donald
weird.
Duck thing, that was before we started the game. Nobody knows where
That's
that
why
came
we
from.
said that. Yes. Yes.
Oh no.
Hmm. Meanwhile, Digger, you stayed outside looking around. Give me perception. Notice some stuff. All right. So you're looking at the nautiloid and thinking about your little notes that you pull out on your bar napkin. Just, here, here, and here. Yes, that makes sense. Floating about. There is one figure that is by the nautiloid, standing kind of guard. And this person is wearing elaborate robes, but there is no hood. The person is obviously a Illithid. You see the tentacles on the face and the whole bit. They're not hiding it in any way. They have what appears to be a pole axe or a halberd. If you're not familiar with weapons, then it looks like a big spear with an axe head. Just standing guard, very similar to a dwarf guard the rest of the group just saw, just protecting the nautiloid. You don't see any of the diminutive or dwarven humanoids in cloaks around the nautiloid, but you do see one Illithid.
Her song of choice, by the way, is basically "This is the song that doesn't end."
Nice. I love it. I appreciate it.
Figured you would.
Do you want to approach?
No, I do
okay.
not.
That could have been a fun scene.
However, she is going to see how. Well, she's going to cast Detect Magic to try and see what all she can see.
All right. Well, you see him standing guard as you continue to observe the area. He does look around. Well, he, she, they. I think they would probably be the best one for Illithids. The Illithid looks around and does eventually notice you as you're not stealth and you're just kind of fluttering around. Doesn't seem to take any particular issue with your existence or watching them. Doesn't appear to be threatened or frightened of you.
Good.
Beyond that, after about 10 minutes or so, you'll see another Illithid walk up, and the first one gives a nod, the other one walks through. When
the other one walks away,
I want to into the nautiloid.
Yeah, when they start to switch, I want to use Mage Hand to make it seem like one of them smacked the other upside the head. I want to test their discipline.
I love it.
Or better yet, grabs his butt.
I guess to pull it off, I want to say stealthy to not be noticed that you're the one doing it. Because, the hand's definitely going to grab the butt because that's just how nature does what you want it to do. But to not be noticed that you're casting and directing it at them would be stealth. They aren't really paying attention to it.
It'd either be that or sleight of hand, but is the same.
I'll allow sleight of hand. Okay, sleight of hand is fine, and I will give you advantage because they're not really watching you. So 11 or roll again.
I stealth instead.
20. All right, that happens.
Man, she's on fire tonight. Go, Brenna.
Only for causing sheer mayhem, though. Still furthering the story, but still mayhem.
That
you're like, it's funny. I'll allow it.
I would like to say that the really good news about how Mage Hand works is you cannot feel what the hand grabs, which means you don't have to know what it feels like to grab a squid man's butt.
Probably really bony.
Or I would be thinking not bony, like squishy, like way too squishy. Anyway, they both look around. Like one immediately looks around, the one who got grabbed, and then the other one begins to look around. They look at each other for a moment. Their tentacles are flipping at each other, and then they begin looking around some more. And they don't seem to know what happens. One of them does clock that you're still there, the one that had seen you before.
Oh, I'm now looking at some market stall or something. I'm looking at some goods.
Okay. Well, yeah, you made a good stealth check, so we're good. So, they clock that you're still there. They don't seem to make any difference about it. And they look around, and then the one that had approached up the ramp will continue on inside the nautiloid. The guard will continue to remain guarding. They may have had a whole conversation while their tentacles were flipping. You're not entirely sure what all happened with that.
Did you just grab my ass? No, dude.
Most likely something like that, yes.
Why would I do that?
I will say that the guard is now on high alert looking around.
Okay, well, oops. Now I'm gonna make my way to the ship, to our ship.
All right, cool. And you rejoin the group. You see that they are actually in the Spelljamming helm area, the command area, and they're looking around intently trying to figure out something.
I'm like, so by the way, good news. The annoying song trick seems to work, at least if you're a part of a crowd. They seem to be pretty disciplined. Because they didn't immediately get into a fight with each other. They actually talked to each other. Well, not talk, but you know. What are we all staring at?
Beetlejuice.
Somebody wrecked our ship last night. They came in and messed around in here. We're trying to figure out what they were up to.
What? She starts like checking everything. The flutter was she's agitated and flying around.
All right. And Tinker joins you in your search to figure out who might have been in this ship last night.
Right.
Who indeed. Anyway, it's 11:30. I don't know if y'all want to do anything else tonight before Kios comes back next game.
No,
Is there anything else you want to try and resolve?
we can end it here.
I think
All
I've
right.
caused enough chaos tonight.
Oh, come on. There's no such thing. Not for Tinker.
Hey, if you've watched this far, you probably like the show. You might want to hit the bell thing so that you can know when the next show is. You should probably subscribe. That helps to do the stuff with the things on the YouTubes. You know how it all works.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
See you later, guys. Go roll some dice.
Yeah.